do this right now to get off of that
Oh
beta.
my goodness. Hold on. Let me see. All the audio is working. What is going on, guys? And welcome to the gaming podcast that brings 12 T-flops of gaming news power. Next podcast is live. What is going on, chat? Great to see you guys in here. Before we get started, as usual, I don't know if somebody is drunk at the wheel at YouTube or whatnot, but they just don't like doing things properly. So if you can, slap that thumbs up button, share this out on social media wherever you talk games. It could be Facebook, which I believe actually still exists. It could be Twitter, wherever you go to talk games. Let people know that we are live right now. We got a bunch of topics. I am really excited about coming back. We had last Saturday off. It always feels weird when I'm not over here pushing buttons and hitting levers on a Saturday night. So I feel back at home. But of course, we can't get into the topics without doing the intros. And first off, I'm gonna introduce this panel member first, just because it is a very special day for him. I will let you guys know he has been celebrating all day, straight from his 37th birthday. My brother, Crispy Bomb, what is up, man?
Oh my God, it's 32. Jesus, you trying to make me look older than I am. What the fuck?
All right, so 39 then. Got you.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you right now. Let's get into these topics. They're gonna be great. As a lot of people like to say, great.
Well,
so let's
a lot of
do
people
this.
have one tiger, okay, likes to say that.
Yeah. Well, I got both tigers, and they're sitting in my fucking wheelhouse. So let's go.
I don't know what a wheelhouse is, but all right, brother, we are gonna move on. Again, happy birthday, man! It is good to hear that you are
Thank
living
you.
it up right now. It is gonna be a very interesting show out there. Trust me. On that note, I'm bringing in the OGs, and I'm gonna start with the man that I first started talking about this podcast with. He's coming live from the 405. And he's just trying to talk to the intelligent gamer out there. My brother, K Mega.
Man, we still doing this shit? What happened?
Yeah, dude, it's like a normal Saturday, man. It feels weird when we don't do this now.
Oh, anyway. Well, at least I will be I don't have to worry about wilding out because I think my boy Crispy's gonna do that for us all tonight. So I guess I should be the voice of reason, or as the DF, what I'm saying, or the DD, the designated driver. So I will be cool, calm, collected tonight, and we'll have a good time. I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas, Kwanzaa, holiday, atheist day, whatever the hell that you do, as long as y'all celebrate it, have a great time, and man, didn't let the pressures of all the other crazy stuff going on in the world, man.
My man Xbot appreciated the atheist day part of it.
I am not atheist, brother. I am not atheist.
Dude, you're not pagan.
No,
right?
I'm not pagan. I'm not atheist. All right. But this is not the religious podcast, so we're gonna move on. And I do want to point out that I believe K Mega called himself Double D.
I love that.
All right.
I love that.
You said what?
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm
talking
about. I know what you're talking about, but what was you saying about it? What was you saying about it?
I said you called yourself Double D. Just want to throw it out there, man.
Designated driver. That's fine. I can move my man packs though, still to this day. Yes, let's go.
You could drive for me all day from the 405, baby. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Highway 66, go all the way through.
And here we go, off the rails already. Yeah. But on that note, I had to put up the super developer signal because we were gonna be a couple people short, and I had to get one of the talented developers that are out there in the video game industry to come in and hang out with us tonight. He's been on the panel. He is a family member as well. Of course, I am talking about the Don. Don, do you like what I brought you into tonight, man?
I
don't know if I'm going to stay. I'm I'm questioning my decisions right now. But I'll try to keep a little bit of professionalism going on here, and we'll keep it rolling. And I'm just worried about Crispy. I just don't want to.
Okay, all right.
I just don't want him to look back at this podcast and regret something. So,
all right.
K-Mega's had those times, just so you know. K-Mega will admit it.
My brother Crap did it by himself one time.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I think it was because game was going on PC or something. I'm not quite sure what was going on there.
Like that. I don't. It's so long ago, man. You know what I'm saying?
I need to go find that podcast and just retweet it out.
Oh, no. Oh man, Don is trolling. We are in for a great show, guys, and we got to dive into it. And I'm gonna dive right into Moon Studios. For people who don't know, Moon Studios, they are the developers that made Ori and the Blind Forest and are also working on Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which should be out beginning of 2020. So, with that being said, Moon Studios has confirmed that they are working on an action RPG. Now, I'm gonna go to my brother K Mega first on this one. So we got Moon Studios. You know, of course, they're known for Ori, which is a platformer. I believe it had some type of like RPG elements, like upgrading and stuff like that. What do you think about Moon Studios going full action RPG? And then I think the biggest question, the question out there that gamers really want to know, is it going to be Xbox PC exclusive, or do you think they might go multi-plat with this, bro?
Well, there's a lot of questions going on with that. I mean, me and my boy Super G, aka the driver, because he was driving us all around LA when we was at E3 not this year, but last year. We was talking about it, and there has to be some kind of financial backing coming from somewhere for them to want to bring in a game that had some elements of, they said, Zelda, Dark Souls, and I can't remember the other game that they said, but all iconic games that had, that's reminiscent to everybody. So when you want to bring a game like that, make it a AAA title, you just got to have the financial backing to it. And their track record, they only have what, 2 games, which is Ori and now Ori and the Blind Forest, and now Ori
and the
Willow of the Wisps. That's saying a lot, and because I don't even know how big their studio is, so that means if they want to try to make a AAA game, they're going to need a lot more people. If they want to try to make it as iconic as they want it to be, if they want to make it as ambitious as this, then that means they have to have the financial backing, they have to have the people. So obviously, somebody's funded it already for them to drop this, or they're trying to pitch this out for somebody to fund them on it, because I don't see. I mean, I know that Ori and the Blind Forest has done really well, and I'm sure that this Ori 2 is going to do fantastic as well. But I don't think it's going to be enough for them to jump out and make a game like that without not having the capital. So either there's some rumblings going on about maybe maybe Microsoft might be trying to acquire them. I mean, we've heard all about this. I mean, that'll be something we'll talk about later with Microsoft and what they're trying to go after. But or they could be going like you said, could be a third party game to where it's just everybody will get a piece of it, and then somebody's going to give them some money for maybe saying some exclusive rights for third parties exclusive rights. But I can't see them just coming out there and having the money to just jump out and make a game like this, me personally.
Now, see, Mega, one thing that concerns me is when it comes to Moon Studios, they are the studio where their developers are kind of like spread throughout the world.
Mm-hmm.
And with what you said about in terms of being like acquired, possibly under, the Xbox umbrella, first party and stuff like that. See, what concerns me is something that we went through with Ori, and I feel it's something we're going through with the sequel to Ori as well. They take forever because of their development, the developers, and how they're spread throughout the world, and they're using the internet. They're sending things back and forth to get the game done. I feel like the acquisition thing is actually a little more relevant than what people might think, because if they can get that and get all the developers into one area, then I can see them, pushing forward. But do you feel like I feel when it comes to Ori and like Ori 2, like with them being so spaced out, it takes a long time and that's like a smaller, it's a smaller game. It takes a long time for those to come out, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, the first game was more of a smaller thing. I think this game, because when we seen it last year, it looked 2-3 times better than what the first Ori looked like, and we didn't see it this year at E3, and they delayed it. So I can't imagine how beautiful that game is going to look. So it's nothing wrong with them taking their time of making a great game, but like you said, they're spread thin, and to want to make a AAA RPG that tests the limits, you're going to need more backing, one way, shape, or form. So look, it's one of those things like me and Super G was talking about. It has to be somebody that's going to fit the bill. And if Microsoft is willing to do that, or if it's Sony, Nintendo, some Japanese group out there, or somebody out there overseas, whatever the case may be, somebody else is going to have to help fund that game for them to be as ambitious as they want to be with it. So if they're going to do it, then good luck. But I just don't see them having the capital just off of the Ori games alone, just to try to go out and try to make this type of game. But it's all about sales pitch. I mean, we don't know anything, but I mean, I would love to see it because I think that they do a great job, and then that just brings another potentially great game. Maybe a start of a new franchise to the gamers. So you can't fault them for wanting to do that.
Nice. And I do like, I didn't think about the whole pitching the game out there, like working on it, but pitching it out there for publishers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since we're talking about developers, it's only natural that we go to the Don next. Now, Don, I can't remember if you really got into Ori or not, or how you are, if you're into platformers. But what do you think about Moon Studios kind of like reaching further, trying to dig deep into a full fledged action RPG? And like, do you think the chances that it's going to be kind of like that Xbox exclusive going to PC as well, or do you think it might be a third party multi platform game?
What is the actual statement from Moon Studios?
Actual say I don't have it up on my computer.
I feel like people are projecting what they want it to be.
I would have to search for the link and everything. K Mega, if you have
I'm going for it now. I'm looking
right,
for it now.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Because when you just listen to the description, what they want to do, that can be anything from a big game to a small scale game, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be something on the lines of like an Ori of the Blind Forest, 3/4 view sort of thing. They didn't say it was like a 3D game. They didn't really specify, right? And I think because they're a talented group of people, people's imaginations run wild. And they're like, oh, well, I just want them to be even better. And that's a natural, I think, progression for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I think on the scale of the game, I think we probably should pump the brakes. Because
hold on, Don. Hold on. Let me make this. Let me read it. I found it. Okay, it says Moon Studios. This was December 28th, so that was today.
Okay.
It says Moon Studios, the creator of Ori and the Blind Forest, are making now a new game, or are making a game right now that will be an action RPG title. The word got out after people picked up on the job advertisement on I can't pronounce that name, that site. It's a good site though. It's got
on that site.
It's probably Game of Sutra or something like that.
That's it. That's exactly what it is, right there.
Yo, Mega's like, I'll get in trouble if I try to pronounce
I'm not going to do that because I read a lot of stuff from them, and
it's a common site amongst developers.
Yes.
So
it's a great site.
It's a great source.
Yeah, and so it says, while no information beyond the job, which is a senior producer, it does give a little insight into how the company works. You can read more about the job below, and feel free to apply if you feel that you can fill the bill. Hey, Don, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? It said
Like, man,
it
I
just
only so many hours in the day.
hey, I'm just saying. So, but
Jeez.
yeah. So I from the article that we read beforehand, but it was saying that they wanted to make this right here is stating that they're already in the works of making this. So this could mean a whole bunch of things. So they obviously pitched this to somebody and got this out. It could be a third party.
Okay.
It could be anything else.
Let me pump the brakes for everyone.
Oh, I mean,
Those
it's made. Something's going on.
I know it's exciting, but like they're a studio, they can do whatever they want without a publisher.
Well, that's true, but I mean,
but the difference is they have to put up the money, right?
right.
So this doesn't really mean they have a publisher. This doesn't really mean they may. I mean, I'm not assuming one or the other. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a big game. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a small game, right? All we know is the last point where the studio has been is doing Ori the Blind Forest, and they've been scattered, across the world, and that's actually how they want to be run. I don't see them ever going under one roof, to be honest with you. And that's where we're at. In regards to that, could with their direction, could they make a great triple game? I'm sure they could. Does their studio scale? If their studio structure does it work if you scale it? That has yet to be proven, right out there in the industry.
Yeah,
On the
aren't
small
they the
scale
only
does.
developers that kind of are doing like developing games the way that they are right now? I don't know any other.
You're seeing a lot more studios now, like where you got people that are super talented that are like, well, I don't want to live in LA, right? Like if I want to go down to LA and someone offered me $50,000 a year, it's not worth my time. Right. And I know that sounds a little selfish, but it costs so much to live down there. Right. Like that's me taking a pay decrease. Right. Even if they offer me 75 to 120,000, it would be a pay decrease to move out there. I would be doing it because I want to move with that talent. So what you're seeing is certain people that are really, really talented that can set their own rules and can work with them from a studio as afar. You're seeing that. So you're seeing certain talent out there in certain divisions that they'll work from Montana. They'll work from there. The main studio is wherever it's located, and the majority of the staff is in that location, right? And usually those people that are in remote locations are under contract work. But it does exist out there. The difference is with Moon and it's Moon, right? We're talking about, right?
Yeah, there's no real hub there. Like,
yeah, they don't have a hub. They don't have a facility. They work online, and it just depends on the personality of the individuals and the talent of the individuals, and if they can do it. And obviously they've proven it. And the question is, does that work on a larger scale? That becomes a little trickier, I think. But I always thought this was possible back in the original PlayStation 2 era. To be honest with you, so I'm glad a studio has come around and finally proven my theory right. this could happen. But I think where I was a little bit naive earlier was the fact that I don't think every group of people can do this, right? So it's very particular talent. I think can pull it off. So,
all right, I got you, yo, and huge shout out to Sir X-Man who tested out the super chat, and it is working, it is running, and he said, read my comment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll up to the comment before, because I think that's what he's talking about. He said, if Microsoft wants to show off the true power of the new console, buy Crysis and make a game with the Crysis engine to show the true power of the new Xbox. Brother, I hear what you're saying, and everybody's entitled to an opinion. I'm not saying your opinion is wrong or whatnot. I don't feel like buying Crysis would be the best thing for Microsoft and Xbox to do, because with buying that studio, you also have to buy the engine as well, and I think that could be very costly.
And maybe slip spaces. I mean, for putting in close to $500 million on a new engine with split space, I just think I think that might be the premier go to, especially, and then also for what the coalition is doing with with Unreal Engine 4. So I don't know. I mean, look, I just want Rise. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I love Crisis. And you know, me and Bot and Don is going in circles about this, and you know, that's the only thing from Crytek that I want is Rise. If you do a Crytek, I'm gonna do a Crisis. That's great, but I just want Rise, and
I'm
that's
right.
it for
I'm
me.
right there with you on the Rise, but I've said goodbye a long time ago.
I know quite a few
It,
people have said that, but
yeah, I don't have hopes it's ever coming back, even though I would love it. Here's the thing. Buying Crisis. I mean, what is the value of them? What have they put out that's going to be worth it recently? There's a lot of I don't know. I want to say baggage. I mean, because obviously they're capable of making great products. I like Rise, and I've liked you know, the original Crisis games, but I just don't really see the value in Cryotech for Sony
for the price that needs to be paid. I don't see it.
I don't care what the dollar sign is. I don't care if it's Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo. I don't see the value for any one of those companies buying them. I really don't.
Ouya can buy them. How about that? You do the Ouya?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah,
I just made
just,
Don speechless, people.
no.
Oh my goodness!
I was reading something in the chat and I can't multitask.
Damn it.
But that being said, I just don't see the value in purchasing them. And I don't think they're a company that wants to be purchased. So we'll see how that goes. But here's the thing: is like engines are always going to get better from all the different places. I would argue Unreal is way more capable the Crytek engine these days. To be honest with you,
I think
uh,
Unreal right now is like kind of like the premier go-to engine, at
it
least
has
this generation moving forward.
it has the most features. It's the most mature,
Mm.
and you can do anything from looks like PUBG, which is reserve your own personal opinion when looking at that game, to something like the last game that we just played from the Coalition, right? You know, the last Gears of War. So obviously, it's very flexible. You can make games look gorgeous. Obviously, we even see the new Xbox Series X game from our boys at Ninja Theory.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness!
yeah, and that's running on Epic's engine, right? On the Unreal Engine, and you know, you can say it's real or say it's not, but according to Epic, they say it's real.
Um,
So
hold on. Did you just say that? Now, and I know we're kind of like spreading out this topic, and we are gonna get to you, Crispy. Don't worry about that. But did you just say that Epic came out and stated that the
mhm,
Hellblade 2 trailer is running in engine
yeah,
on
yeah, that was confirmed
there?
the day after.
There we go, people. Well, for some rhyme or reason, people on Twitter just did not share that information.
Well, I think people are just looking for fights and justifications on something they can't even purchase yet, like, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it. I mean, it's a preview of what we can do going forward, right?
Hmm.
And it's a preview of something that can be scaled as well. In regards to that, and you know, an engine is basically everything running in real time.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's game, it doesn't mean it's interactive, doesn't mean any of those other things, right? It just means there's a piece of hardware running what you're seeing on screen in real time. So
Nice. Nice. All right. Crispy. The 36-year-old, the new 36-year-old, Crispy Bond.
32, asshole.
Crispy, Moon Studios. First off, I don't know if you got into Ori, so let me know if you got into, the game we know them for, of course, Ori and the Blind Forest. But it's been confirmed they're working on an action RPG. Do you think that this studio can step it up and go all in on a full action RPG? And do you think it will be exclusive on the Xbox side, or do you think there's a good chance it could go multi-plat?
Well, do we see PlayStation doing anything with it? Do we see them advertising it?
Well, no, they won't do it yet because I think we're really early in this whole
but
thing.
yeah. They have to have funding somewhere. They're not doing the same game that everybody thinks they're going to do, which is another Ori. Okay. They are trying to spread their wings. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, everybody doesn't understand that they are trying to be better than what they have been.
They're trying to grow.
Yes, exactly. And if they're not going to do that, then nobody gives a shit, right? Because, I mean, in the end, Ori is a visually stunning game, but in the end, nobody talks anything about it. And we can sit here and say it's multi-plat, but it's really not.
Well, yeah, well, but the reason why I bring up the whole multi-plat thing is because when you look at Moon Studios, you know, they definitely they did an Xbox game, but they're not first party. You know what I'm saying? They can do do anything they want. They can develop a game and put it anywhere. They're not under the
I
umbrella.
understand that. I understand that completely, but are they advertising on PlayStation?
No.
Okay.
The game is okay.
Okay. The game is meant for Switch, which I'm gonna tell you right now, Xbox and Nintendo are gonna come together. Like not necessarily truthfully, like come together, like share revenue and everything, but just come together and say, you know what? We can hold hands. We can be happy. You know what I mean? You give us the live services. We give you games that are not our first party games, and you know what? We can coexist. But PlayStation continues, which they've kind of held back. They're like, oh, you know what? We could do the crossplay. We could do everything else. And they're just like, you know what? Maybe this is the right way. And we've seen it. We've watched it. Okay? Being the Xbox centric person, I've watched PlayStation just hand over the reins and act like it's nothing. The problem is everybody sits here and says, "Oh, power doesn't matter. This and that doesn't matter."
We'll get into that.
Matter. The games matter. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm almost 95% sure that Xbox has bought Moon Studios.
I'm
78% sure that Xbox has bought.
You should be you can't go 80%.
I am 78% sure that Xbox has bought freaking.
The 40-year-old is 75% sure.
He said 78.
Well, we're changing numbers here. All right.
Okay. Oh, okay. So 40. So 78 is the new 30. Is the new 75
from the 42-year-old.
I got you. Okay. All right.
I think it's going to be interesting, and like when it comes to Phil, Xbox, and them kind of like being open to possibly getting more studios and stuff like that. It didn't seem like Xbox was too worried about the amount of time that they were using to develop Ori and the Blind Forest and now Ori and the Will of the Wisp as well. I don't think it would be a huge price point for them, and I don't think they mind how that studio is set up. So it would be interesting to see if Microsoft did acquire them. Like I said, this is all we're kind of like throwing our opinions out on there, our speculation and stuff like that. But if I had to lean towards Moon getting acquired from anybody, I would definitely lean towards Xbox. So it'll be interesting to see what is going on with that. But
we'll see. I just personally I think and I fall for it too. I think we've gotten a little bit out of hand about the acquired, studios. Every studio getting acquired by somebody, here lately. I just think, if anything, one of these companies will help publish the game. This is kind of like been the norm, So I think that would be the key, and I just think that the game might be a third party, because if Microsoft is the one doing it, that would make sense in the sense of trying to get getting more people to get the chance to play it because of Game Pass. Just and it helps out with the promotion of that. But but acquiring Moon Studios, I mean, that would be great. That would be fantastic. But I just don't see it. I just think that not everybody's going to get acquired by somebody down the line.
But all I say is that it's a smaller developer.
It is.
And I think they have bigger ones that they've look. Microsoft sees that acquiring the bigger developers becomes more important, and they could throw Moon Studio in there, and everybody like, oh, like we didn't know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though visually stunning, the game is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Crispy, in terms of acquiring studios, I feel like, first off, I feel like Xbox isn't done. And I know, like, there are times I get tired of saying, well, they should get this studio, or hearing people, they should get that studio. But if you notice what's going on going into the next generation, it's been quoted by, a few people in the industry that, this next generation, it's not really about platform. It's going to be about ecosystems. And you see, like, Google starting to get their first party going and acquiring their first studio. You saw.
Oh, wait! After they released the console.
Yeah. Well, that was their decision. They have to live with that.
Guess what? Xbox did it.
But Xbox, they acquired so many studios. PlayStation picked up Insomniac. I don't think any of them are done yet, because they're going to flesh out their ecosystem. Their streaming options that they're going to have out there for people, and they need a lot of first party developers, from those AAA, big titles down to smaller indie titles and stuff like that. They're going to need.
Are you talking about Google?
I'm talking about all three. I'm talking about all three. I'm talking about
all
Stadia,
three. Not Nintendo's not involved.
Nintendo does whatever the hell they want. Let's be honest here. Like, they sold people cardboard at one point.
All three is Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft.
Well,
that is all three.
All right. Well, I'm talking Google.
Google is bullshit.
Okay,
damn. That's what we call bullshit.
I think people need to stop sleeping on Google, man. I really do. I think they're just now getting started in the game.
Google, I'm going to tell you right now, Google has not a damn thing. I'm going to laugh when people have purchased this fucking whatever. It's a dongle. It's not a console. It's a dongle. And people, you might as well have fucking Amazon Fire that plays fucking. I'm gonna tell you right now, Amazon's gonna swoop in.
Amazon's jumping into the mix as well,
Google
brother.
in the face. I'm just telling you.
But yeah, like I said, it's going to be more about ecosystem, getting more content onto their streaming services. PlayStation Now, xCloud, Stadia. If Nintendo joins the party, whatever they call theirs or whatnot.
Let's be honest here. xCloud has destroyed everything else. You get the first party games day and date. Watch. Everybody's like, oh shit, Hellblade 2 is going to be day and date on Xbox. What the fuck? Xbox Game Pass? I pay $10 a month. I get all these games. This is just the tip of the iceberg. That's the problem. People don't see it. They don't see that. No,
dude, you're preaching to the choir.
Hellblade 2 is just a little smidgen of what you're really going to get. Because Phil Spencer actually gives a shit about us gamers. A lot of people don't see it. That's fine. You know what? He's got to make money, but Xbox would be dead if he was just going to, say, oh, Satya, you're right. I'm sorry. Xbox is not going to make any money. I'm sorry. Instead, he thought of something different. He thought of something totally different. Game Pass has saved Xbox because you're talking almost very close to $1 trillion company, and they're not going to take no shit from anybody, executives or not. Satya owns the shit. You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah, I just pictured Satya like a G'd up setup. You know what I'm saying? Got the hoodie on, the baggy pants. Yes, I said baggy. I can't stand these skinny jean things that people are wearing right now. It's not cool.
Xbox, you'll love this. Janko jeans.
Jankos, baby. I still have a few pairs in the closet right now.
But he had to be convinced. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like Phil had to convince these guys. Once he sat at the table, he convinced them. Like, everybody can sit here and say what they want. Microsoft's making a shit ton of money off Game Pass. I'm just telling y'all. Like, they're making a shit ton. You know what I mean? Compared to their development costs, it's still, they're breaking even. That's huge. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Netflix is at a loss. Witcher, y'all love Witcher? Guess what? It's at a loss. Okay?
But people are going in and watching that like 4 or 5 times.
And we all know that gaming's bigger than anything at this point.
Are you yelling over me, Crispy? Are you doing that to your favorite moderator? The hell are you doing, man?
It's my birthday.
It's his birthday.
He
is 34 years old, people. Just to let you know.
It's 32, damn it.
Well, guys, on that note, let's move to another developer. And guys, again, this is a rumor, and we're gonna get a lot of rumors in the pipeline. We're gonna be talking about hardware rumors in a little bit as well. And there's actually more validity to the hardware rumors now if I look back, but we'll get into that. But let's get into Sumo Digital, because there is a rumor that they are developing a game right now, and it is another Crackdown.
It is dear to your heart.
Well, Crispy, since I'm gonna go to you first on this one. Yes, Crackdown, the franchise, definitely is like near and dear to my heart. Crackdown 2 was a game I played with my son when he was living with his mom. It was one of the ways we got together on almost a daily basis. And, we were able to communicate, have fun, all that good stuff. So, yes, Crackdown, I do hold that kind of like close to the vest for me. But the rumor is Sumo's making another Crackdown. And I got to ask you, Crispy, with everything that happened with Crackdown 3, whether or not, like, I like the game, but I'm just one person here. Do you think it is a good idea for Sumo to go in already and start making another Crackdown for Xbox?
Okay, so what I'm going to ask you first, because I don't know, like, I'm not big into Crackdown like you. Yes, it tugs your heartstrings. I'm cool with that. Where does Sumo come from?
Where do they come from?
Where do they develop?
Oh, I'm not sure where they're based at. Yo, Don, do you know?
I believe it's Korea.
No, they're in Europe.
They're in Europe?
They're a European developer. I don't know why I sang that, people. I have no idea.
The only reason why I say that is because, Phil is trying to broaden the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He's trying to say, okay, you love this certain game. It comes from a certain area, and it's not America. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, we see this with
Phil was just in Poland. He was just in Poland, right? Supposedly.
It wasn't
CD Projekt Red. You don't know.
That's the shining jewel right there, man. Chill.
That would be ridiculous, but let's keep it hypothetical. The fact is that Sumo is not a huge company, but it's not a small company either. But the problem is like I tell people all the time, Microsoft could do whatever the fuck they want. A lot of people don't realize that.
Well, like, now that the
Microsoft could be like, I want to buy you.
I'm trying to do a little back and forth. Now that the wallet is open, because at one point in time, Microsoft wasn't sure where they were going with Xbox, and the wallet wasn't necessarily open at that point in time. Now, Phil did convince Satya that gaming is a future with Microsoft, and they opened up the wallet again. So now, yeah, you're right. They can do whatever the hell they want. But at one point in time, there was a chokehold on that revenue stream and the money that they can spend out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, what I would say to you on that point is, like, yes, you could spend a lot of money, but you don't find a dev like Ninja Theory or Obsidian every day. Actually, Obsidian was probably a bigger purchase than Ninja Theory, just to let people know. Obsidian is a large dev, very large.
I'll give you that.
You know what I mean? They've done so many things across the spectrum, whether it be top down, whether it be, just fucking MMO, whatever. They have done so many things in that company. When they bought Obsidian, I said they're not screwing around. And that's Phil. That's not Satya. Satya ain't got damn clue. He's riding off Phil. He's saying, Phil, you know what the hell you're doing. And then all of a sudden, like, my buddy's about to trade in his PlayStation because Final Fantasy is coming there. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, dude, I can play every Final Fantasy for $10 a month. Are you kidding me? That's what he said to me. You know what I mean? So, these Japanese, these European, all these studios that people have completely not thought about that are American that have given us great games. CD Projekt Red, Witcher 3, bam, slap in your face. Yeah, I haven't played it, but guess what? Everybody says I need to play it.
Yeah, you should definitely try it out, brother.
And that's where I say I'm like I have not a single person say don't play this game. You know what I mean? So I'm like shit.
Every time I praise Witcher,
short.
Every time I praise Witcher, I can like picture K Mega like, yeah, I told him so long ago, like in his mind, he's like, I told Xbox so long ago. Yo, what's up?
Just special tip. It's every game we talk to you about. All of us say that.
But well, see, here's his destiny too.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of I'm not going to get into that. All right, Chrissy, I'm going to move on to somebody else on the panel. Let's go with K Mega on this one. Yo, Mega, Sumo Digital. Again, this is a rumor. I don't know how many times I have to say this on either a video or a live show, but I know I'm going to go to Twitter and somebody's going to be like, Xbox said that they're definitely doing this. And I'm like, no, I never said. It's a rumor, people. But the rumor is that Sumo is making another Crackdown. Now, you saw what happened with Crackdown 3. I enjoyed the game. I think you enjoyed the campaign as well. I never thought that one solid feature, that one feature that you have in multiplayer that they didn't have in Crackdown could hamper the multiplayer so badly in terms of not letting you go in with your party to play the game. But you see the stigma when it came to Crackdown 3. Do you think it would be a good idea if Sumo is in fact working on a Crackdown right now?
No, I think it's fantastic because it gives two things: confidence into the studio, and it's also the fact that they are familiar with what Xbox is envisioning, or whoever who's ever in charge of letting them know what they want from the game. I assume there'd be Phil Spencer, but they had the right concept. They had the right ideas. It's just that they just didn't have the time to put the tech, to have the tech to meet up with their expectations. And so what happened is that they delayed it, but they couldn't delay the game any further than what it was already delayed. Mm-hmm. And then, they did that. So, of course, it's a rumor, but I would love it because the single player was absolutely fantastic. I had fun with the multiplayer. It's just that they made the fundamental mistake, as a lot of these companies do, is thinking that, well, we can patch it later and then they'll come back.
It took too long.
It took way too long. It's exactly what I told them. I said, all will be forgiven as long as you do it in a timely manner. I'm not going to come out and cut you out and say that you did this. I understand what they were trying to accomplish was an incredible feat. Like, no game has done anything like that. Only thing close to we got is Battlefield. And you can see that DICE engine is crazy and all of that. They're working on and trying to do this on older hardware and all of this, right? So and work with the cloud and all of this stuff. So again, it just didn't meet expectations, but they know exactly what they're aiming for. And if any indication of what this new Xbox is going to be like, and if they are working on this, I am so excited because not only will the single player be just as robust and is great, even better than what the first of what Crackdown 3 was, but the multiplayer will finally get its just desserts. And that to me is well worth anything. Fuck the speculation. I hope this rumor is absolutely true. There could be all of these haters go out and talk all the crap about what they did, but they get egg on the face just like they do with Sea of Thieves. They was over here talking about the Kraken is lacking. Where are they at now?
Yeah,
Where's
right?
that same energy now? Where's that same energy now? The whole point of the matter is that these PlayStation, this is something that I've said for years about Xbox, this generation, is that the one thing you give PlayStation a lot of credit for is because even if a game is an absolute fail, they still do not give up on those developers. They still make a sequel to those games. I hope Microsoft does the same thing with Sumo Digital and let them do it and make it the way that they to meet everybody else's expectations and blow our minds away.
All right.
It wasn't originally Sumo that did the game. Who's the other? I can't remember.
I forgot the name.
There were 3 people involved in the project.
Right. Yeah, with the original.
Sumo was left to pick up the pieces.
Right.
When things kind of went their different directions.
Right. And so again, that's why Sumo they get full reign. They know what they're doing. They know how to bring this. And because the only thing, if let's just say that Crackdown 3 wasn't a multiplayer game, it wouldn't get the hate that it's got. It would not get the hate it's got because the single player lived up past my expectation. I love the single player. I've never been the biggest fan of Crackdown like that. I thought the game was cool, but it made me play it and complete it. And I was just like, wow, this game is fantastic. Like, it made me grind through the first one. I never played the second one. Well, I take that back. I did play the second one, but only for a little bit. But I grinded through the first one because I'm like, yeah, well. But the third one, I played it consistently. Like, I didn't stop because I got more into the story than I did anything else. And then I was anticipating that the multiplayer was going to be good. Yeah, it didn't meet up to the expectations of what we've seen from that E3, but again, it still had potential. So now with the new technology, with everything that they're doing with the cloud and all of that, and then if Sumo Digital would take over full mantle, I think it'll be better than it's ever been.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Don't give up on the franchise.
If it's not like, passed around through like 3 different studios and stuff like that, and at certain points in time you had multiple studios working on it. Like, there was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of jumbling around when it came to the Crackdown 3 title, all the way around. So it can definitely, and it would definitely be better if there's some stability there. You know what I'm saying? I definitely agree with you on that.
The problem I have is that everybody acts like Microsoft doesn't have the multiplayer. If you're a multiplayer player, you like multiplayer. You like conversating with people. You like doing all of those things, whether it be a multiplat or not. They just have the advantage, and people don't see it.
I think Crispy, and I know it's your birthday, man, so I'm gonna go light on you on this. I feel that people think of Xbox as the multiplayer box. To be really honest with you, I think what has been, what people have been criticizing Xbox over is not having those single player experiences like other platforms had this generation. Which
I'm going to say this.
With,
I could say this. They expect you to want those single player games. The problem is that the people behind us, the young children, don't give a shit about that. They give a shit about the experience they're having at the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I can definitely agree with you on that, because like the 12-year-olds in my house, the 2 games that they play most are Roblox and Fortnite, and they don't play them for any kind of, because Roblox has like single player stuff as well. They're into all multiplayer. They're playing together with their friends. That's where it's at for them.
So is Microsoft a little bit far ahead of the time? But this time they're not too far ahead where you say, oh, they're stupid. more or
No,
less
no,
they're
we're not saying
being
that.
smarter. Like, dude, I'm 32 years
Crispy.
old, not 36 like you said, X.
39, got you.
Just say.
You're not. We're not saying that, Crispy. What the issue was is that it's like, look, regardless of whoever was making the game, it has a lasting effect on people because it didn't live up to the expectation, and there could have been a lot of things that could have been
Yeah,
added
but
to.
there's been plenty of
I mean,
bad games.
even with the but hold on, but even with the
Days Gone was horrible. I played it.
I get that. No. I get that. What I'm saying is this: there was a lot of things, and it might not be all of Sumo Digital's fault because they had to pick up the pieces. And what I'm saying is this: they should get the opportunity to have full mantle, to be on the mantle and work on this game by themselves without anybody else interference.
Yeah, but
and add in the features that should have been needed. Because I still think that that there would be a lot of people that would be still playing. Listen, the whole point is this: if they added like 4-player co-op through the story mode, I don't think anybody would really be complaining as much as they do about Crackdown 3, because that would kind of
what I'm saying is,
alleviate.
Dude, everybody's like, "Oh,
you're
going to do Hellblade 2. You're going to do Hellblade 2." Yeah. Ninja Theory has a huge freaking step in the right direction. They have the funding, and we're going to sit here. And people are going to be like, "Oh, I want to see The Last of Us 2. How much better is that going to be?"
See, I know
give
where
me
you're
a break.
I know where you're going.
Give me a break, dude.
Yo, Crispy, I saw you in the chat on Crossfire last night, and yeah, you definitely made a valid point on that. But that's not really the topic that we have here right now. So what I'm going to do is
you know what? That's what it comes down to.
Uh-oh.
There's another iteration of a game, okay, that actually has the funding. It's not 3 different devs trying to, drop out and be there and whatever. It's one single dev getting the funding to do the right thing of what they feel for a game. What they actually feel
their
as
idea,
a human being.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something that, like, it's like you could compare to me feeling the way I feel for Gears. I have called it out 100 times. Microtransactions are horrible. But in the end, the game plays better than Gears 4.
You got me choking on vape here, Crispy. Yo, let me go to the Don about this whole sumo thing, man. Let me get him in on this because I know.
Don't.
Huh?
He's not here.
Where'd he go? Oh no. Hopefully the Don will be back. And the reason why I wanted to go to Don is because me and him were, he was also excited for Crackdown 3 when it came out. Like me, I'm gonna let Crispy and K Mega know my thoughts on this. Like when it came out. When Crackdown 3 came out, yes, I had fun with the game. I enjoyed the campaign. I was disappointed about the whole not bringing your party into multiplayer. I had fun with multiplayer when we were playing it, though. I feel that you might want to let like the launch lineup for the Series X and games coming out after that kind of get people moving forward and like if they're developing another Crackdown, take your sweet ass time with it, yo. Because as time goes by, people aren't going to be so kind of like hard about the previous installment or whatnot, and they'll be able to start on a fresher foot. You know what I'm saying? The longer that they take on this one, um, the and I think it should be a reboot. Is my biggest thing. I think they need to reboot the franchise. Still keep it in terms of going and taking on the bosses as you see fit and stuff like that. But going back to like the original Crackdown name and stuff that that was rumored when it came to Crackdown 3, and just kind of reboot that franchise. You keep it with one developer. Let one developer see it all the way through, like Crispy was saying, and I'm cool with that. But I feel like to be in there making it now, I would just kind of let the dust settle a little bit and then come in with a reboot to give it a fresh kind of like the gamers will have a fresh set of eyes looking at a new reboot like possibly 4 years down the line. You see what I'm saying? That's what I think personally. And I like the game.
I agree with you on that. Like, there needs to be a settle period.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Let the dust settle. Let everything kind of settle. Even Gears, like at this point, like people just say it's just another Gears, even though for me, it's not. You know what I mean? Like it's different. Do I like all of it? Hell no, I don't. But in the end, we have to realize that, like, at this point, we've seen things, and it like, let's say it's not the same as what you thought it should be. You're gonna be mad about that too, right?
Well, like I said, like let the launch lineup for the new series of hardware speak for itself. Let people see kind of like the evolution, where they're going when it comes to like Series X, possibly Series S, if that's what they call the smaller price point edition, and see where they're going in terms of games from there.
I'm dancing around the other topic, but that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, Crispy is allowed to dance tonight. It is his birthday. He is 43 years old. So you guys got to give him a chance here.
You just keep changing his age. But this is the thing here, right? I last point on this is that when you look at case in point, Marvel vs. Capcom, right? This is the latest one.
Oh my god, I love that game.
Okay, well, a lot of people didn't like the last one, right? For whatever reason. But you wouldn't want somebody other than Capcom making a new one. All you would want them to do is kind of reboot, restart, keep, just learn from their mistakes and make it right. That's all I'm saying with Crackdown. Like, don't just shut down Crackdown because this Crackdown didn't live up to expectation. Like that, there's so many other games that had plenty of potential and maybe their first entry or second or third, whatever. But when they've kept going, they've been better and better over time. So you don't just necessarily just say, oh well, this Crackdown 3, it didn't do this, it didn't do this, it didn't do that. The Xbox should just scrap it. I just wouldn't want that to happen. That would be stupid.
I'm just gonna say this, okay? Everybody saw the old God of Wars, and they saw the new one, and they made it the game of the year. Okay?
Give me the old one. I'm sorry. I had to say that.
Well, God of War 1?
No. Well, God of War 3 is my
no.
God of
no. What I'm saying is that people made God of War, even though it's the same game, just in a different perspective. Okay, it's not top down. It's third person. Okay, and it brings you those emotions. This is where Gears 5 fucked up. They had the emotions in Act 1. Act 2, you ran around like you were playing Fallout. Okay? That's the problem. That's where people had to disconnect.
Yo, Shizno, I agree with you, brother. Gears, God of War 3 is the best in that series. Thank you, brother.
But I played God of War 3 and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it was more like a Devil May Cry, like the old school Devil May Cry. It just felt gripping. You know what I mean? But then everybody loves God of War because, apparently there's a new God of War all of a sudden. But everybody talks shit about somebody saying Gears of War 5. You know what I'm saying?
Gears. Crispy. Take a breather.
No, seriously. Think about this for a second. God of War has 6 games. Gears of War has 6 games. Yeah, Gears of War sucks ass because of one thing. When you go into Act 2, you feel like it is a totally different game. And that's called a hybrid. They tried to be a hybrid, and they shouldn't have. Act 1 got everybody into the game, and Act 2 made you say, "What the fuck?"
I got it.
Or vice versa.
Hold on, Chris. Yo, Mega, I gotta say this because I just pictured this. Can you picture Mega? Can you picture at this
Yes, go ahead.
coming E3, Rod Ferguson and Crispy Bomb like sitting at the bar drinking together? Because that's what I pictured. Like he's like the
Bruh.
problem with Gears 5 was.
Hey man, bruh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Dude, I can
don't
see
know.
that. I'd be taking pictures, hardcore, man. But
That would be great.
I'd love it.
all right.
Yeah.
But,
Oh no. Yeah. They're real approachable out there, man. You can talk to a lot of the devs, and they're all nice and open, stuff like that. Except for
They're helping
Kojima.
everybody else now.
So
all right,
yeah.
so let's move on to the next topic then. I don't think we have Don back yet. So
No, we do not.
all right. So the next topic, and this is something I really wanted to talk about because I saw people on Twitter just instantly go in and bash this thing. Coming basically early in 2020. I don't think it's out yet, but Sony is coming out with a back button attachment for their DualShock 4. And I took a look at this thing and I'm like, yo, that is really interesting because I love the back buttons on my Elite controller. And for them to find a way, this is my opinion here, $30, you get this attachment, you get 2 more buttons added to the back of your DualShock 4 controller that you can use, you can program to whatever, button commands you want them to be. I gotta say, I was wondering why people were bashing this thing. K Mega, what did you think when you saw the button attachment, back button attachment for your DualShock 4? Is that something you might invest in for your PlayStation controllers?
No.
What? Why not?
I mean, it just doesn't look attractive. It looks like it's more cumbersome than it is anything.
Dude, that screen. I will give you that screen is awkward. I don't know why they didn't just have it with the user interface on the PS4 the way we have on the Elite controller. I'll give you that. But having those back buttons, that is
no.
Awesome
I mean, having
deal.
the back buttons but it just seems like, I mean, it's already odd. Like, see, that's one thing
Booty
that
bumper.
I'm really interested in. I mean, the PlayStation controller has to adapt, has to evolve somewhat, especially when you want to add share buttons, all these other buttons, because it just doesn't make sense to me for the DualShock not to, or let's just say Sony not to have the opportunity to sell controllers on the same wavelength as what Xbox is doing. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Look, like, people could clown and say, oh man, Xbox, but Xbox has made a ton of money off of just their accessories, and PlayStation should do the same. And I think if you want to try to start making your own elite version of the DualShock, do it. But this, you know what I'm saying, but add a little peripheral to stick on something, it looks too much. You know what I'm saying? Now, look, I mean, I'm fine with the, you know what I'm saying, my favorite PlayStation controller was the DualShock 3. I'm sorry, with the DualShock 2. It was heavy, it was sturdy, it had a good impact to it. I enjoyed that controller more than the DualShock 4 from the PlayStation 1 controller, all of that. But again, it's just, to me, it's just something else that, like, the little screen that they had in the middle of the DualShock 4 is great. It's got some cool features. When you're playing Horizon Zero Dawn and in other games, you hear the little sound effects and stuff. But was it really that necessary at the end of the day when you actually are playing other games, especially if you're more into shooters and multiplayer games? Fighters, things like that. It would probably make sense to put some of those other buttons that they needed to up in the front where if the panel was not there, and then if you add those paddles in the back, like you do, like kind of like with the Xbox, I guess, and not have that big piece of whatever the hell that is back there. I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it.
Dude, I
personally,
I don't know how anybody can necessarily bash this, because when it comes down to it, it's a $30 extra peripheral. $30. OSnaps paid $180 for my version 2. Now, granted, with the Elite controller, there's a bunch of other features as well.
A lot of perks, bot. A lot of extra perks on the Elite
right
too.
There.
Just okay. Think about this though. Think about this. What if you have multiple? Because listen, if you do couch co-op, then you're looking at it from a standpoint of just being a lone gamer, not playing anything, but just you don't have friends come over, things like that. A lot of people ain't going to want to play you with certain games. If
dude,
you
one
got
of the
that
most played games
there,
on the
you got
PS4
to take that
is
off.
Call of Duty, dude. That
I know that. So again, you got that thing on there. It's $30. Let's say that your battery runs out because that battery life is not long, and then you want to do
point.
So I mean, listen, $30 for that. Just make an Elite controller of their own. It just makes more sense to me.
I think they could do both, man. I think they can do both.
They could. I mean, look, as for me, I just think I don't like it. I'm just saying from my standpoint. I mean, PlayStation fans could love it, but I'm hearing PlayStation fans clown it. So it's $30. Like $30?
Dude, it's $25 for a play and charge kit on the Xbox controller. So that's only $5 more. I don't think
that's only like $15 less from just buying another controller for a PlayStation 4. Come on, man.
Yeah, but you don't get back buttons, man.
Man, come on, man.
Dude, I don't know how anybody can hate on this.
It just seems like it's in the way. I'm just giving you. Asked me my question.
Dude, did you play on? Hold on. Did you play on a 360 controller?
Yeah.
Did you have a problem with the battery pack that was on the back of the 360 controller?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So yes. I did too. I did too.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't that's why I wasn't the biggest. I know that's the biggest seller for PC fans because I think it's the sturdiness, the girth of the 360 controller. But I could not stand that big ass back in the back of the 360 controller. When they took that away from the from these new controllers for the Xbox One, I was in heaven. They feel lighter, they feel more cheap than the 360 controller unless you get an Elite. But I could not stand that big ass thing in the back. It was cumbersome. It just felt out the way, out of place. And that's the same thing with me with this whole PlayStation device. But I understand they're doing whatever they need to do. But $30, come on, bro. I can't do it.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me shout out Chris Hart because somebody's saying that my brother Christopher is blocking people from commenting. Chris, I do not want to see that. I trusted you with that wrench, brother. Use it wisely. All right, that's all I gotta say.
No, you can't do that. You cannot do that.
Dude, I extended an olive branch to him. Yeah, I see good in Christopher Hart, man. I do see good in Christopher Hart. All right. So if that's the case, brother, if that's the case, you gotta chill with that. But when it comes down to it, now, Mega, I want to get this straight, and I'm gonna get Crispy into this as well. So Mega, you think that Sony should just make $180 controller that people would have to buy, of course, with extra features, which would make it worth it. But they should do that and not sell a $30 peripheral to put back buttons.
It's like you said, do both. But I just personally rather them have a better controller. I'm not a fan of the DualShock 4. It's a bigger controller for my hand. Like, look, I'm grabbing it right now. I'm just got finished charging this sucker, man. I was over here playing some games on that thing, and then the battery. Oh my God! I just charged you up. I thought.
Well, that's one thing. I'm hoping for the next DualShocks when they come out. I damn hope they better use a better internal battery.
Right, and again, like that screen in the front. I know that they had a lot of thoughts of doing cool things with it, but then it just doesn't seem like it gravitated with the fan base, and so therefore you don't see a lot of games.
Touchpad in
the touchpad thing, yeah. And so that to me is I mean, that, like, it's a cool feature. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind the innovation of it. It's just that the fact that and that big light takes away a lot of juice. And what people want to do, they just want a game. You know what I'm saying? So putting that big thing, like I'm holding the controller in my hand right now. That big thing in the back, and I'm hitting triggers, and I'm holding these two analogs inside, and I'm trying to shoot and do this. It doesn't feel well. It doesn't feel right. And I got big hands, so that's gonna cramp up my fingers, man.
Mega, you ever play?
I'm not digging it.
You ever play a Nintendo 64?
Hated it. Hate that damn
Yeah.
controller. Hate it to death. That trigger in the back and played that. I mean, my son, I bought one for my son. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand that controller. Couldn't stand
It
it.
took getting used to, man. But I played the shit out of the 64. Man.
Yeah, no, my son played the hell out of it, but I could not do it. And then when they changed it to the GameCube controller, it was weird, but it felt better because of the fact that
See, I didn't
it
like the
placed in my
GameCube.
hand
I
better.
did not like the GameCube controller, man. I could not get used to that thing. I don't.
Yeah, like see that's the thing. Like, I mean, look, I know most people don't have his hands as big as mine, but that's what I'm saying. You have to listen, I would buy an Elite PlayStation 4 controller if it would fit into the needs of what to fit into my needs. Like, I need something a little more sturdier. I would look. I wouldn't care about you spreading out those buttons a little bit, those little analogs a little bit, having it a little spread out, just a little bit more, not too much more, just a little bit more on each end. And then if you want to put the triggers in the back, that's fine. That's fine. But I would need a more better, wider controller. Like, it fits fine in my hand right now when I'm playing it the way it is. But to put that big hunk of stuff back there, it would annoy the hell out of me, man. And it would collect dust. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't play with it.
See,
So
when I saw this,
I just
man,
don't see it. I wouldn't do it.
When I saw this, I was like, damn. Like, I hope, like, moving forward, because both companies, they take bits and pieces, and they'll emulate something. Like, Xbox will emulate something that Sony does. Sony will emulate things that Xbox does and stuff like that. For people who can't afford the $180 kind of like controller, because I love having the back paddles on my Elite version too, and I think something like that. I like the way that Sony placed the buttons as well, because SCUF controllers go completely vertical. Their buttons in the back go completely up and down, completely vertical, and I hate that design. Absolutely hate that design. But with the buttons,
what's your worst controller ever?
Worst
controller you ever? Yeah, for you.
Damn.
And people in the chat, let us know what your worst controller is of all
hell
time.
yeah. In the chat, let us know what was your worst controller. Worst controller. Dude, in terms of like quality of like the components, the plastic, rubber, and everything like that, people in the chat are gonna hate me. DualShock 4. DualShock 4. When I had my PlayStation 4 and I got the controller, I was playing games. It took about 1 week for the rubber on the thumbsticks to start coming off. And I thought maybe it was a one controller type situation, so I went and got another one. And the same thing happened, man.
See, the Slim don't have the rubber on their controller.
No, they don't.
Because I'm touching this now. This is the original controller from the Slim that I got, and it doesn't have that rubber on the back. It got
never. I'm gonna change mine. I had an Atari Jaguar back in the day.
Oh, that was a horrible controller.
That was the worst controller. I was wondering
it was horrible.
I was wondering if I was going to call like the pizza place with the phone numbers, like to order pizza while I'm playing, Bruce Lee on my Jaguar. That was probably the worst controller I've had. Predator said, shout out to Predator hitting up the chat, man.
He's always talking about I had sausage fingers, man. These fingers are lean and skinny and long. They'll go through your eye sockets. Just remember that, soldier.
But he said his worst controller was the Xbox. The Xbox. I'm calling myself in third person right now. The Xbox Elite one, and dude, with the issues that it had, the rubber grips pulling off, the bumper issues, stuff like that. Pred, I can definitely see what you're talking about. Albert, the Dreamcast controller, really?
I was going to say, the Dreamcast is one of my favorite controllers of all time. And then when you added a VMU, it gave that weight to it. I love that controller. I think, like I said, a lot of what the Dreamcast presented to me is what made me actually start liking Xbox. Once I got my hands on the Xbox for the first time, I didn't like that control. I did not like the Duke when I first seen it, because I was like, this thing is like a dinner plate. This is horrible. what the hell is going
See,
on?
I love the Duke
you know what
controller.
I'm saying? Just give me my DualShock 2, because that, and like I said, I'm a diehard PlayStation fan.
Oh, okay.
But the more that I played it, when we played Halo, the more that I enjoyed it, and I realized that there's nothing better than the analogs being placed where they are on the Xbox controller. Nothing beats that. Nothing in the world beats that. That's to me is where it's the most beautiful thing. Now, where PlayStation will always be king is their digital. Their digital is always going to be the best in any game. The digital placement is just perfect, and the button placement as well for PlayStation. But those analog sticks inside, it's atrocious to me. It's disgusting. I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Let's get our brother Crispy in on this. Crispy, I believe if you've been following the DMs, you've definitely seen the back button attachment for the DualShock 4 controllers. What do you think about it, brother? Is this something that you think was a good idea by Sony? Are you in Mega's camp that the screen that's on that thing is too big? I still don't know why the hell they put a screen on it. Maybe it was to justify the $30 price tag, but I still, like, you could have just made it, in the actual PS4, you can set up the buttons and just know where it is from there. But my bad. Crispy, what do you think about this attachment? Was it a good idea? Do you think it's something that maybe Xbox should adopt moving forward with their controllers?
Uh-oh.
Is it just me and you now?
No, he's in here, but I think he's gone.
Oh, dude, this is the last show of 2019.
Of the year.
We are going out.
Of the year. And we're going out with a bang. Prance out there missing. He's MIA.
Yeah. Don
said, what you talking about?
Okay,
bro?
okay. Here we go. We did. Look, he just woke up. Hey, my man just woke up.
No. Let's change the narrative for a second.
Oh, shit, here we go.
Every topic,
talking about
going out with 2019 with a bang, ladies and gentlemen.
PlayStation.
Oh.
Fucking multiplayer exclusive.
Oh.
Name one.
We're talking about the controller.
We're talking about the controller.
No, multiplayer.
No, I think
There's a reason why the controller is better.
All right,
the controller is better.
He's doing the best he can tonight. He's doing the best he can tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
You know the controller's better.
Crispy is lit. My boy is lit. My boy is lit.
You know the controller's better,
guys,
bro.
give us a thumbs up. Please give us a thumbs up,
give
man.
us a thumbs up, man. Come on, man.
No, but I know where Crispy's going with this. But Crispy, I got an answer for you. The Last of Us.
The Last of Us, what?
Has a multiplayer element, brother.
Multiplayer.
PvP.
The last you said the last PlayStation.
Wait, the original Last of Us that came back on PS3? What you talking about?
Well, they made it remastered, bro.
It's a PS3 game. Don't fall for that juice. Don't fall for that juice. Don't do what they do. It is. But the multiplayer is fire. I do like the Last of Us multiplayer. Very underrated.
But they remastered it when it came to PS4, and they added a multiplayer to it. So guess what? It's the same damn game. Same damn game. Hello. It's like telling me that Destiny plays better on PlayStation. Anybody play Destiny on PlayStation?
I haven't played it on PlayStation.
Yes, I have.
I want to hear it.
I need to be on the Pro because
you need to be on a certain device.
Well, I just got a Slim and it's ashy as hell. But I mean, and it plays.
Everybody says $399 for PS5, and guess what? All I see is advertised for PlayStation. It's $349 for the PS4 Pro.
Crispy, what do you think about the back button attachment, man?
You know the back button
attachment has begun.
2020
coming in with a bang, ladies and gentlemen.
Pure garbage.
Why? I don't understand. Do you like
because the Elite? It looks like something I would slap on my asshole and say, "Hey, how you doing today?"
Oh damn. Oh.
What is? Look, great idea. Problem is, execution is horrible. Number one, you were releasing it before another console that you're apparently not going to support the new controller.
Well, no, hold on, Crispy, hold on. On that note, I wanna catch you on that. I have a feeling, all right, when it comes down to it, the next DualShock controller, right out the box with the PS5, is gonna have back buttons, and that's why they're doing it now. They're trying to get as many people accustomed to back buttons as they can, because I think they're putting it on the DualShock 5.
I don't disagree with you. The problem is that are you the people that have a PlayStation are that stupid that they're going to charge you $30 to get it on the PS4 when you can't use it on the PS5? That's the problem I have.
That's actually a great point, though. Yo, Mega, he made a great point on that. They're gonna spend $30 on this peripheral for a controller that they probably won't be able to use on the PS5.
We don't know.
I said probably.
I'm not going to sit here and say we know, but the way PlayStation goes is that fuck you, PS4 users. That's what they say. So $349 for a PS4 Pro, I could buy the back button for $30. Guess what? I'm nearing a higher price than the Xbox One X. That causes a problem for me. I would rather spend the $200 and know that like I'm buying a premium product for the version 2 and be happy about it.
I mean, I'm in the camp of you can do both with this, because like when it comes to elite controllers, there's other features on it that do kind of add to the value of the controller. But for $30, you plug this sucker in, you got buttons on the back of your DualShock 4.
Guess what? You already have the Elite version 2, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You can use that on the Xbox Series X.
Yes, I can, which I'm excited about. I'm happy that because if I had gotten this controller,
no. Stop over talking me. Have we been told that you can use the simple little plug-in because it's a DualShock 4? Have we been told that you can use your DualShock 4? Let's completely ignore the fact that it has the plug-in that you could add to it. Have you been told that you can use your DualShock 4 on the PS5?
No. No, you have not.
My point.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm agreeing with you on that point. I'm like, dude, you made a valid point on that. All right, guys, we're getting into kind of like the meat of the show, and I think it's time to bust out the TFlop wars that are going on Twitter right now.
This is what you needed the Don for, but Don said he said he's out of this, King Wasabi. He's out of this charade.
It's all good. Well, there's certain things.
I want to hear the drunk Christmas birthday boy.
Brother, you have had anywhere between 115 to almost 130 people listening at the drunk birthday boy tonight, man. So
it brings people to the yard, bro. It brings people to the yard.
I appreciate y'all. No joke. I appreciate everybody that listens to me.
Oh, he's a happy drunk at least.
Yeah, there you go.
I appreciate it.
This is just a preview.
You, Chris.
It's a preview of New Year's Eve, people. This is going on right now.
Yes, because if we have GRG or next, and it so happened between New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, then you might hear you might have another classic for me. So I'm not going to knock my boy Crispy for this one. It's his birthday.
Right. Well, let's get into this
go.
now. First things first here.
Look at this gameplay. I'm banging with this dude. I'm playing competitors.
People are asking why I have the best gameplay. And guys, this is
there was one person that said that.
No, there's people saying that. Yeah, there's probably people at the house as well where he was talking.
I showed an array, a smorgasbord of different gameplay.
Dude, I showed 3 games, brother. I showed Ghostbusters.
I showed 4. I showed 4 or 5.
Oh, so you showed one more than me. What's that mean? What's that mean?
Because I do it the best. I didn't see you doing no couple. You was playing on easy. Get out of here.
Oh no, man. I don't play on my brother Crap Gamers level, man. I don't do easy.
Okay.
Yeah, I mess with him. Yo, anything I mess with him all the time about that too, by the way.
I got you.
All right, guys, going into this thing. Now, first off, the first thing I want to say is because people are saying rumors are irrelevant, all right? At this point in time, I want to correct that situation really, really quickly, and hopefully everybody out there is listening intently. Because when it came to 2013, about this same time is when we started hearing rumors about the Xbox being all digital, needing an online connection, stuff like that. There were rumors going around. It's about this same point in time in comparison. So now, not only that, but hardware specs were being rumored, and a lot of them were on point. Maybe not to the exact level of detail, when they fully unveiled the Xbox One and the PS4. So you can't just take these rumors and push them to the side, because there is a history of actual information coming out at this point in time in comparison to when they launch. All right? So when it's all said and done, I know these are all rumors, but these are rumors with a little more oomph to them, with a little more with truth in there. There's truth lying within these rumors and stuff like that. So when it comes down to it, when people are like, "Oh, these are just rumors, just toss them to the side," they're a little more than just rumors at this point in time. We are less than a year away from these systems dropping. All right. So with that being said, the rumor of the Xbox Series X being 12 TFlops, and I know there's a lot of other YouTubers out there with podcasts that are swearing by the 12 TFlop rule. I am going to let you guys know I think it's wrong. All right? And the reason why I think it's wrong is because people are thinking of the more traditional architecture, the GCN architecture, with thinking about the power of the Series X. Now, Series X isn't made with GCN, it's made with RDNA 2. And with that being said, you can even go back to AMD talking about this. They said moving forward, it's not about raw power and TFlops, but it's going to be about the efficiency and what we can get out of the hardware, regardless of that number.
So, Xbot, I have to ask you this question. Okay, you remember when everybody said if the CPU power was higher on the Xbox One X, would it be more capable?
It would definitely be more capable. It would definitely be more capable.
Okay. All right. So RDNA 2 is CPU power, not GPU. A lot of people don't realize that. So, in the end, if you're using a higher CPU power, you could take the Xbox One X and maybe we'll say, I'm going to say this right now. I think the Xbox One X is going to be reskinned into the Lockhart with a higher CPU. Okay, that's what I think. AMD has a partnership with Microsoft. Okay,
an extensive partnership.
Yes, yeah, like I'm talking billions of dollars partnership. Okay, so AMD says Microsoft has the money. We're gonna go there. People don't realize this. Like PlayStation, Sony is not even in the same realm as Microsoft. They're not. I mean, I'm going to sit here. You could tell me I'm an asshole. I'm a fucking liar, whatever.
Woo.
But in the end, it comes down to money. These guys want money. AMD wants money. Guess what? Microsoft has the money. So they're sitting here like, okay, we're going to release our dev console way later than everybody else because we have the better fucking shit.
Oh, so you saw,
do.
all right, you saw that in the DM as well. Yeah, this also, shout out to Red Gaming Tech, who has been all over this. He was, back in 2012, leading into 2013, he was all over the PS4 and the Xbox One as well. And there was a few things I was like, man, he can't be right with that. No, I don't think he's right with that. And he turned out to be absolutely accurate. So shout out to Red Gaming Tech when it comes to this stuff. But when it's all said and done, all right, 12 TFlops, I think we need to stop talking about that. Yo, Mega, what do you think on that? Like, I know you don't dive into the tech side of things, but, I know you're out there on Twitter and you see, people swearing up a storm. It's 12 TFlops this, 12 TFlops that. Like, you see people, like, even putting it in their name right now. And I feel like they're overdoing it. Because this could very well, the Series X could very well, in terms of just GPU power, be a 10 TFlop machine. And it's still a huge leap above what we have now.
Bullshit walks. That's
Dude,
all I gotta say.
Sony has, because if it comes down to it, I will let you know, Sony has a partnership with AMD as well. And AMD is not going to, just kind of let them dangle either. All right?
Well,
so when it came down to it.
I know that. And this is the thing, though, too. I don't know. The whole 12, yeah, and you're right. I don't pay attention to it because I know that I don't pay attention to it as much as others. I like to hear the companies give me the specs instead of me listening to people's favorite YouTuber or somebody's favorite blogger and they make all the speculations. Yeah, it's fun for podcasts, but as for me, I'm moved myself from a novice when it comes to PC tech to an average PC gamer. In that sense, I'm not fully all in when it comes to every piece of terminology that's going on with PC gaming. I build PCs. I know what I'm doing now with that on that aspect. I know what I want to buy from that standpoint. But when it comes to you talking about teraflops, you're talking about RNDA, you're talking to, the Navi and AMD and all of this crazy shit, Intel, all that. Listen, most of the people that's out here doing this, they're novices or they're average as just like me. And they're waiting to hear these specs so they can claim to be right because
I gotta ask you a question real quick because you said novices and dude, yeah. I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, but
no, fine.
When it comes down to it, what category do you think I'm in when it comes to this? Do you think I'm?
No, I think you're more advanced. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Don is.
Well, he works with all of it.
Yeah, he works with this technology. And there's other people out there. Like I know that D-Batch gets a lot of hell for some things, but he's advanced.
I had to check him on Twitter, brother.
He's not right all the time, but he's not wrong all the time either. You know what I'm saying? But but when you got other people
brother, I'm a crackhead in the chat.
Yeah, so damn. But the point of the matter is that listen, when we talk about these TFlops and everything, because I remember there was people that was also putting names when Mark Cerny said that the PlayStation Pro could do 8.4 TFlops. That's when this whole I said, what the hell is a TFlop, Triceratops? You know what I'm saying? what the hell is that? Well, I ain't never heard that shit, and nobody in the hood heard that shit either. No different than the whole resolution wars. When everybody started talking about resolution, I'm thinking, are y'all talking about a happy new year? Y'all talking about changing your resolution for the year? Because y'all damn sure wasn't talking about this during the PlayStation 3 360 era. Maybe those ultra nerds over there on Reddit or whatever the hell that those private sites was back then, I wasn't doing that. I was gaming. So the point of the matter is, to me, it's just the same thing. just because we're in the space, we're on YouTube, thing like that. I'm not gonna be a fraud to the public and try to act like I can break down every intricate part about what's going on and what the Xbox or the PlayStation or the new Switch or what new thing is coming on with the PC. Just because I have these gaming consoles and this gaming PC and shit like that, I don't really care, to be honest with you. I just want results. When I see you present this shit to me, I just want to see the power. I want to see how fast it is. I want to see all of the little small things that makes this console better than its predecessor.
But K-Mag,
that's what I care about more than anything.
Power don't matter. You remember
that? What are you talking about, man? Well, let's hold on, guys. Let's get it. Let's get into that instead. Since when it comes down to it, I will. Well,
I wanted to finish that point though.
Okay.
I just wanted to finish the point. With that all being said, though, I have been listening and paying attention because it is fascinating to talk about. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to ever come out and say, "Oh, I know this for certain because my insider told me." Bullshit. This is the thing here for me. Xbox made the point of saying, "Look, we will not be subjected to being considered the lower of any of the 3 consoles that's coming out, or the other 2 consoles that's coming out, that are the big 3. We're always going to have that power narrative killed." So I have no doubt in my mind that Xbox will be the more powerful console. I just don't feel that the gap is going to be as big as what other people are saying. I think PlayStation will be just. I think PlayStation will be just as close, if not on the same wavelength. I think where the difference will be is the DirectX 12, and what we'll find out is what will PlayStation do to try to, and if they find out that they can't catch up to what Xbox is doing on that wavelength, and they want to go and do the same thing that they did at the beginning of this generation, is by giving a more affordable console, and Xbox will not. They'll give multiple SKUs. Then that will be your question right there. Because if the rumors are true about PlayStation, if they're going to go ahead and do if they're going to do a $400 console again, which
at 9.2 TFlops for
graphical
power.
That's not then the same energy has to be released for the people that was over here talking about power at the beginning of this generation, because that was their staple point of like, well, Xbox don't have the power, PlayStation got this power. You see what I'm saying?
So what I gotta say about this is that Xbox is a software-based company. Microsoft is a software-based company. Okay? What company with 100 million console souls bought in to Azure Cloud, which is a Microsoft-based company?
Well, yeah, but when it's hold on.
But they don't care. They don't care if PlayStation.
Chris, you gotta let me rebuttal you, man. You gotta let me do this, because I will. This is one thing that I'm kind of getting tired of hearing. All right, Microsoft is a software company. Because if you look
look at Game Pass, dude. It's software. Well, dude,
look at Surface. Look at Surface Book.
Look at Surface. Look at Outlook. Look at everything that is involved with Microsoft.
They're trying to be more than a software. They're trying to be more than a software-based company. They're trying to be a hardware.
No, they're not.
If that was the case, they wouldn't be coming out with hardware.
They're coming out with the hardware because at this time, in this period of time, it is more relevant to come out with the hardware. But in the end, all that matters is how many subscriptions they get. And that's what I'm telling you. They only care about how many subscriptions they get. It's like Netflix with The Witcher coming out. It has surpassed even Stranger Things. It has surpassed it. Okay? Because people are itching for something like Game of Thrones. And they love The Witcher. Like, the critics hate it, but the users love it. Okay? And that's all Microsoft cares about is how much the users love it. I'm going to tell you right now, I go into Gears every day and people say it's dead. And I see level 1, level 1, level 1, level 3, level 5. You know what I mean? And I play the game because I love it, but they're playing the game because they don't know it. And that's something that's intrigue. It's called intrigue.
And
do you have intrigue?
Well, but that's the point. That's you're making a point on this that I can agree with at the end. Is that we are all intrigued. We want to know. Everybody on social media that cares about gaming, we want to know what these specs are. We want to. We can't wait. We're excited because right now Xbox has made it, doing what they did at the VGAs has made the point of there are the center of attention because Sony is being quiet now. Is Sony being quiet because they're going to roll out?
Sony's been quiet for 2 years
and show the hot shit, or is Sony being quiet because they're like, oh shit, which one is it? There's only one of the two things that they can be doing right now. And listen, that's why I say I can't go in thoroughly and talk to all the nicks and cranny about what's going on with these consoles and all the juice and the power and things like that. All I can say is that we'll both be, and I'm quoting my man Don on this, we both will be thoroughly pleased with what the offerings will be with these consoles. Because the only thing that I care about at the end of the day, even though what I seen with Hellblade just blew my damn mind and made me even more hyped to be an Xbox gamer, but I'm still going to get me a PlayStation down the line. So it's not like I'm just going to just stick with Xbox. But the point I'm making is that PlayStation fans ain't going to be don't have to be worried about anything either. It's only going to be those that want to make the narrative about the power aspect that is the ones that's going to be eating.
Okay.
That's only as far as I'm going to go with it.
I get power. I understand that completely. I totally get that. But the fact is that it's power and price, right?
Well, power, price, and games.
That's what I'm saying. That's all strategy.
Okay. Strategy. We can go back.
Xbox came very confident.
2013, Xbox dropped $500 price point with the Kinect involved. Okay. And then PS4 dropped $400 price point without the Kinect involved. And what they do? Okay. And the thing is that Xbox had better games at launch than PlayStation did.
Right, but it was the $100.
The problem is that the price had to involve itself.
Right.
Okay.
That's
why
when
we see
you're right,
Series
X.
Crispy's.
It took them a while to get there, but Crispy's right. It all's going to come down to the price point at the end of the day. Because look, as many as PlayStation fans come out and they say this shit, they want that power. But the point of the matter is they checking that checkbook too. Because they can want all the power that they want to. But when they sit there and they see a $500-$600 console that can match up with, on theory, I'm not going to ever go there about what this Xbox this Xbox Series can do, but on theory that this Xbox is up there to the highest degree with this 12 TFlop shit, that it's going to be $500-$600. There's going to be a lot of people checking their checkbook on look, do I really want to commit myself to a $500-$600 console? Because that's why Xbox is going to have to make. If it's true that they're going to have a console this powerful on the Xbox end, they're going to have to make two choices. One, they're going to have to make multiple SKUs, which we hear about the Lockhart, or they're going to have to undercut themselves and lose a lot of money.
Okay, so Lockhart,
and that's the only two options that they have, because I just don't see PlayStation going after. All right,
hold on, guys.
Look,
oh, my bad. I got a couple super chats here real quick. First off, shout out to Jago. Jago, what is up, man? Huge shout out for you in the super chat, showing support for the show and the channel. Basically, he says Xbox, PlayStation at that amount of power means we all win. And brother, that is true. And I don't know why more people are out there saying that as well.
And we put PC gamers on notice, because the facts is that they are just now moving into the 1080p era themselves. So for the majority of them.
And Michelle Alexandria hitting up that super chat. Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate you hitting up that super chat for us. It means a lot. Guys, I was trying to make this simple here, like, because a lot of people have made it really complicated. But since we're going into price as well, let's talk about the other rumor, because the rumor is that the PS5 will come out at
trying to help you out, bot. Trying to help you out the best I can.
$400. $400, which at that point, I know my brother Mooch last night, he asked if Sony is planning on delivering this this system at 9.2 TFlops, nice big uplift in power for $400. Is that the right way to go going into the next generation, and where do you think that would pin itself with the Series X and then possibly the Series S? So I don't know if Mega, if you wanna grab this one
first. No, I think it'd be smart. I think it's a perfect strategy. That's why I was saying before, was that Sony is doing one or two things in this by being so hush hush, is because the fact that they're saying we got the shit, or we're saying oh shit. So therefore they got to build out a strategy. And if they're going to pretty much give out a bargain like that by making the console that has all these T-flops, pterodactyls, triceratops, whatever, got all this power and doing it for $400, then a lot of people are going to take notice to that. And especially you'll have 2013 all over again, because the message, it was about DRM and all that stuff amongst the gamers, and it spread out a little bit with the casuals, but it was all about the money, that money aspect. That's $100 extra, Jack.
Brother,
that's
it was
2
money
to 3
and
extra games.
Dude, beginning of this generation, the biggest things here, and people try to downplay this now. After all the dust settled from the launch, and we're moving forward, within the first year, within the second year, everything was power. Power is what dictates, like, overall resolution. So when they were talking about 1080p in comparison to 900p, PlayStation has that power. Like, that's a big part of what happened the beginning of this generation. And I think people are taking that factual information and just tossing it to the side, and they're like, power doesn't mean anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's not true.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not true. I mean, power it means something. I mean, it does give you a sense of understanding, like, look, my console does something way better than what your console is doing. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I say I don't see PlayStation being that far off, especially with what it's what's going to be is about the launch titles. What is Xbox going to present? What is Xbox going to offer? We already know that when it comes down to content, Xbox will be king, because you have Game Pass, you have backwards compatibility. You don't have to worry about buying new controllers or buying new anything. You can focus your money on buying the console and maybe one game, and then going home and then enjoying everything from your library. PlayStation is going to offer that. We don't know how their backwards compatibility will scale. How big it will be. And so you got to look at that. But at the end of the day, it's going to be the price point. Power means something, but when it comes to the people's wallets, that means more than anything. That wins everything. So
you think about this for a second.
Okay.
No.
I love the way you came in with so.
Yeah.
Think about this for a second. Okay. I've been looking into buying a PlayStation 4 for a while. Okay. PlayStation 4 Pro is still at $34.99.
$34.99. I'll buy that damn thing.
I was like, holy shit, dude!
Really? Where is that deal at? I'll buy.
I can buy Xbox One X for the same price. $349.
I'll buy. I'll buy them both.
He corrected himself, Mega.
Okay, thank you. I gotta give him a hard time. He's drunk as hell. I love it.
No. Let's be serious for a second. Why is PlayStation selling a console that they already have won the? You want people to be invested in your console, even people like me that love Xbox, and you're still selling it at $349 when I can get an Xbox One X for the same price. There's a problem.
Well, no, it is, but that's PlayStation's, more powerful console going against Xbox more powerful console.
No. We're not going to sit here and say that like they don't have the better exclusives, but this year I don't see it. I don't see anything that has said I need to buy a PlayStation.
But that's the whole point, though. It's not about this is the thing right here. That's what I'm saying overall, Crispy, is that it's all going to be what PlayStation has to offer to their fan base and to attract more people to either stay with PlayStation or to come over to PlayStation is what they have to offer. Price point's going to be number one. That's going to be the number one thing. You go to the Price is Right and somebody asks this question, you say price point, and that's just going to be number one. Ding ding, right? But the second thing is also going to be content, because it's just like when we bought the Xbox One at launch. Okay, you paid $500, and what I bought was Killer Instinct and NBA 2K13 or 12, which I can't remember which one it was. But it was 13, NBA 2K. I wanted to get Rise, but I couldn't because I paid $500. Now, if I bought if the Xbox One was $400, then I could have got Rise with that as well. But because I had to pay that extra $100, I couldn't get that extra 1 or 2 games that I want, and I could have probably maybe bought 3 or 4 games, but I had to budget. So again, because I had bills to pay. So therefore, if PlayStation comes with the same strategy as saying we're going to undercut whatever Xbox is going to do, at the end of the day, they're still going to outsell more Xboxes. Doesn't matter how much power
they will.
The Xbox is
initially.
So if that's the case for what Xbox is presenting, is that look, yes, we will have a we will have a, if they're going to do this, if they're going to have a more power. I'm
going to tell you right now. You know, Lockhart. Everybody says Lockhart. Right. All right. Lockhart is going to be an overclocked GPU, and an overclocked CPU. It's going to probably be between 6 and 8 teraflops.
But customer, but hold on.
But the CPU is what matters.
Casuals ain't going to know what the hell that is.
But
a lot of the gamers that's going to go out there and buy it, they claim they know, they're not going to know what that is either.
All it's going to do is distribute the graphics with a little bit of help from the cloud, because we all know Microsoft, Azure, cloud is good with them. PlayStation bought into it, and guess what? The U.S. government bought into it. Okay? They paid $50 million to buy into the Azure cloud. A lot of people don't realize this. And you're going to sit here and say, okay, if we have to supplement a little bit, since everybody's all in with Google and all they do, well, guess what? That's purely off the cloud. Microsoft's already got that.
Well, we know that. That's the point I'm making, is that, listen, if Xbox is going to be more expensive, they have to give a reason of why you would rather buy a more expensive.
I'm talking about Series S, bro. I'm not talking about Series X.
Crispy, I'm talking about it overall, because regardless of cloud or whatever hot games that they have as an exclusive hot launch, doesn't matter. The price point is the biggest factor. That's what I'm saying. If Xbox is going to come back into this gen with the more powerful console, and they don't have the same type of price, if they're not going to be aggressive and have the same type of price point as what the PlayStation 5 might be. PlayStation might be a $600. We don't have no damn idea, but I'm saying hypothetically, if PlayStation do the same thing that they did this generation, then Xbox has to do a fantastic job of selling the gamers of why you want this console for however much more.
is that
than anything.
there is a reason why they said Series X. Okay, I have an iPhone. I have an iPhone S, whatever.
Mhm.
Fucking, you could
All right,
add
no,
like
Crispy,
10 different numbers.
Hold on, Crispy. I'm gonna stop you right there. I know what you're saying in terms of series, that there's gonna be that lower price point model and stuff like that. But if it comes down to it, K Mega is talking about the price point. If the price point of the Series X is like $599.99, and
Yes,
then
it will be probably
and then the Series S, the Lockhart,
is lower than the
$299.99.
PlayStation.
Like, but for $100 more, you would get a more powerful system.
No,
You would,
that's what I'm saying. No. We've all heard this narrative 100 times. Okay, if the Xbox One X had a higher clock CPU than any other console, it would be ridiculous.
Yo, check
it's
this out.
already ridiculous.
Sam Walton in the chat said it perfectly. Yeah, if Sony comes out with a slightly weaker console, but it's at $400 versus the Xbox Series X being $500, that's a huge win. Regardless of the Lockhart being
Series
cheap.
X. We're not talking about
Exactly.
that.
But no, yes, we are. That's the point I'm trying to make, Crispy.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Let me finish, Crispy, please. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. So that's the point that I'm making. Sam Walton is right. That's what I'm saying at the end of the day. None of this shit matters about power or about anything. People talk that shit about power and what they want and how they want it, and they want all the bells and whistles and everything, but a lot of people fraud the public, and the only thing they want is something that they can afford. And the PlayStation is,
but power doesn't matter. Remember that.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. Like, these people will contradict themselves if Xbox. That's what I'm saying. Xbox has to make one or two choices. They have to they got to take a huge loss by trying to match the PlayStation 5. One way, shape, or the other,
having
or
an overclocked CPU is not that expensive.
That's not going to sell, Crispy. That shit's not going to sell to a casual. You can talk about clock speed and teraflops and all that stuff. It's not going to sell them.
Then what does it come down to? What does it come down to? Games, the actual games that come out.
Yeah, and that's where, and the funny thing is here, this is where Xbox brought this into a territory we have never been in before.
Right.
Because when it comes to games, their entire first party launch lineup for the Series X, for the Series S, will all be available in Game Pass for a low monthly fee. Whether it's the $10 for regular Game Pass, the $15 for Ultimate, whatever flavor of Game Pass that you're buying, the entire first party launch lineup, and that's the thing right there. Now, normally, like, Mega, I agree with you on the whole price point thing, but I think Xbox threw something into the mix that we've never seen before, and that's where it gets interesting when these systems launch, because
right. Well, I want to make that point because I think you're going to say the same thing that I'm going to say. But go ahead. Let me hear if you're going to say it.
No, go ahead, man.
Well, and that's what I'm saying about the messaging. Xbox messaging has to be on point when it comes to, look, yeah, we're going to be $100 more or whatever. We're going to be more, but look at many options that you will have. You have xCloud.
Comes down to marketing then.
Yeah, right. You have Game Pass, and by that time, Game Pass will probably have close to maybe 300 games available for their disposal. On top of the fact, you got Xbox Live, and you'll have games with gold. Even though a lot of people want to rip on games for gold, but when you look at the value of what you get for $100 more, then you look at, whoa, this console is more expensive, but I get, you know what I'm saying? I could buy this PlayStation for $100 less, but I can only buy maybe one or two games with this, and I still have backwards compatibility, but I've already played these games and beat them. You know what I'm saying? So they may throw PlayStation Now in there, which might be a good thing, but when you offer Game Pass, xCloud, and for whatever else that they want to add to it, plus the new games. You got Halo, you got and whatever else that they're going to have.
Forza Motorsport 8.
Yeah, Forza Motorsport 8 and whatever else that they'll have available right there launch. Damn, sign me up. And I don't think that there will be a lot of people that would turn that down because you get maybe even quadruple the amount of games that you would if you bought the other console for $100 less. Now, granted, that $100 is still going to get people to say, look, I'm going to give me a PlayStation 5. So the Xbox, so the people at Xbox got to really think about what are we going to do. So if the Lockhart do come out as well, then they got to message that properly. Either way, they could cross their T's and dot their I's perfectly if the messaging is right, to where is the point to where the casual can understand it and they're not dumb. We know that. I'm not trying to sound like these crazy ass people that be on these podcasts saying that, how many SKUs? I don't know which one is which. But if you can go ahead and make the messaging to where you know that you're getting way more in value than what you do when you go to the competition, that's a win. And people will go for the more, because everybody wants the premium shit. They might not can afford it, but everybody wants the premium shit.
Well, the first adopters of the platforms, let's be real here. They want the most powerful for their money.
Mm-hmm.
When it's all said and done, like
right.
even when I first saw the Xbox One in 2012 going into 2013. First off, I like that always online thing. I thought we were going digital anyway. I was on board with that. So with that, and then the power, with it being an all digital system and the power behind it, I was for it. That's what I wanted. I thought that was next generation features right there.
R&D,
right.
bro.
Well, at the end of the day, the hardcore are the first people to get into line when these consoles launch. So, I mean, that's a big thing as well. Like,
dude,
right.
Put a higher clock CPU into the Xbox One X. Bam, you have the Lockhart.
Well, that's fine, but
wow.
you have to sell that.
Predator just made a prediction. Like, he's like, I bet Cyberpunk will be in Game Pass the day Series X launches.
I agree. No, Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is going to be in Game Pass. I mentioned that before on GRG.
Imagine if they bought CG Project Red. Imagine.
Look, that could be something. I think that's a segue to your last topic, right, Bot?
Well, we're already
we're already there. Are we over
9.
time?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, no, that's the point right there that I'm trying to say is overall is that, look, price point is the most important, but then how you message it is what, because it's no different than when you buy a television. Yeah, there's always going to be that person that's going to say, look, man, let me get the Vizio instead of the Samsung or the LG. That's always going to be those type of people there. But when you sit there and you talk about what the options you get with this certain television or radio or whatever the hell the product may be, washer, dryer, whatever, if that person is saying, look, I might have this extra $100, right? I might not have this $100 right now, but man, hey, I can put this in layaway, or I can do whatever, or I can come back here next month and I can go ahead and I'll put this money down for that because I want to have all of these things right here because I know that my kids is going to want to play all types of shit, and I might not have the money to get it for them here after the holidays because they got about other gifts and things like that. The marketing has to be solid this time around. That's the bottom line.
That's going to be the if right there. But K Mega, there is a super chat here, and I think it would be good if you read this. I don't know how much you pay Lucifer per month, but if you want, do you see the super chat?
Oh, yes, I see it. It's fantastic. Van Glorious.
All right. Well, shout out to Lucifer. Thank you for hitting up the super chat. K Mega, would you mind reading that out? Because I feel that's for you, man.
Well, I think it's for you to say.
Oh, dude. All right. Last show of the year. I'll do it. All
right. Yes.
Let's see. Lucifer says the new Xbox is the K Mega of consoles. Top biatch.
Woo!
You didn't catch
That's how you bring in 2020, baby. K Mega top notch. All quality. Nothing.
No filler.
No filler, no preservatives, all real, baby. That's what we do here. The
All
K
right.
Mega, that like that. That's right.
All right.
K Mega approves.
Well, check this out. When it comes down to it, I did have a couple extra topics, but we are running well over. And
Yeah.
I gotta say, this was a very, very interesting show tonight. Huge shout out to the chat. You guys have been absolutely on fire all night tonight. And anytime you hear me kind of like giggling in the background or something like that, it's something somebody said in the chat that was absolutely hysterical. You guys are absolutely amazing. Crispy, Mega, this is the last show of 2019. It's
Happy New Year, everybody.
the end of a decade, and I will let people know, coming in 2020, the next show that you see will have a new look to it. We are going into season 3 of the next podcast. We are always trying to evolve. We're always trying uh to make things better, to be new, to be fresh, and I think you guys are gonna dig the new look. I have been working hard. It's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait. Huge shout out to my panel members as well. Crispy on his 40-year-old version birthday. Joined us tonight. Crispy, I remembered, brother.
Yes, you did. I'm impressed, bro. But in all seriousness, let's just game. Like, yeah, we could all speculate. I mean, in the end, it all comes down to, do you love games? Do you like playing them? Just fucking play them and shut the hell up.
Yeah, Play Chris. From what I'm hearing, the initiative will show off what they've been working on at E3, so that is going to be interesting as well. Especially for it being a quadruple A studio.
2020 is going to be a fire year.
Oh,
That's
my
all
goodness.
I'm thinking of. It's 2020 is going to be a fire year. You're going to see consoles dropped. You're going to see everything you want to see. Gaming is as big as it can be, and it will continue to be bigger because you interact with people, whether it be just, the AI, whatever. The AI is getting better. Like, these games are getting ridiculous. And yes, there's glitches involved and everything else. But in the end, you're going to play a game that you eventually or immediately love. And
like Witcher 3.
well, a lot of people hated that game when it came out.
Dude, you know what scared me
They
about that
loved
game?
it.
Everybody told me how long it was. I'm like, man, I don't want to invest that much time. But then Netflix came along. They're like, no, you want to play Witcher 3.
Yes.
If only I had anybody on the panel telling me about this game before time, I might have tried it earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Mercy.
All I can
Let's
say
do our
is
sign
that
outs. Let's do our sign outs before this motherfucker catch on fire.
don't hate a game, appreciate it. You know what I
Don't
mean?
hate, appreciate. There
Oh,
you go,
wow.
brother.
Man, my brother lit.
This
He
is
said, wow.
what it's my birthday. At Crispy Bomb on Twitter. And you can find me on Retro Renegades Tuesday night. I don't know if we're doing the CCC when we want to.
We never know until we know, man.
Exactly. So you can find me on Retro Renegades Tuesday night. And after that, I don't know what's happening. I will be on whatever podcast that people want to hear my opinion.
Nice.
That's the way it goes.
Nice. And everybody, if you're not following Crispy yet, follow him on Twitter. Wish him a happy birthday. Get a couple cheers, kind of like GIFs going on. Let him know how happy you are for him on his birthday. With that being said, I can call him like the co-founder of Next Podcast, because he is the one.
He is.
He is the one where I was bouncing. We were going back and forth with ideas and what we wanted to do with this show. Brother, this show is as much yours as it is mine. And dude, I gotta say, I appreciate every single Saturday that you're here with us and everything that you have done for this channel and this show, man. Yo, K Mega, you already know what to do. We're professionals, man. Let them know.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. I'm proud of your success, man, and you and Snaps, because I remember when Snaps didn't even do any of this stuff, and she's gone all in, man. I'm happy for all of the success that's going on, for everything, all the podcasts that you do, and the streaming and all of that, man. It's you know what I'm saying, from a brother to another brother, man. I am proud of you. I'm proud of the work that you've done, and we'll be going into another year. That's not a lot of podcasts could say that. So, you know what I'm saying? So big kudos to you. And man, like just as always, come check me out on the GRG podcast it ain't always every Friday night, because we didn't do shit this Friday, man. Everybody was chilling. I had things to do. But but we'll be back next Friday. And you check out the crew there and go help and support everybody there. And I'll be streaming tonight. I don't know what I'll be streaming, but I'll be streaming, and I'll have a new look. I'll be showing my beard. The people said that my beard is fake, so I'll be showing my face tonight. So it'll be kind of fun. So I'll be on there. I'll be streaming.
Are you streaming on Mixer?
Yeah, I'll be streaming on Mixer. So
dude, I gotta host that. If you're gonna be showing that mug, man,
I'm gonna be showing my face, man. So yeah, check me out tonight.
People, he will not be showing his feet, because his feet will be soaking in a foot massager as he's playing the game.
My feet are in Christmas socks. My old lady wanted me to be in some Christmas socks, so I got some Christmas socks on right now, man. And so she took pictures of them and shit. So I am not fully converted into the suburban life, but part of me is, because my old lady wants to be. We gotta say anyway, whatever. So, but other than that, man, check me out on KMega405. That's my channel, and also on Twitter, it's at KMega4. Appreciate everybody checking us out as always, man. I hope y'all have a great night. And I don't know, will we be doing? We'll be 2020 when we'll be doing the show next week, right? So I hope everybody have a good, blessed New Year, and that's it, man. Thank you so much.
See you next year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see you next year.
That is the worst joke, but it happens every year around this time.
Yes. And vote for me and my gameplay, man. 5 different games, bro. 5 different games.
You said 4, man. You can't even count the number of games you put in.
I did. Man. Listen, because I got so much gameplay. I just throw it out there, man.
Brother, you can't beat Halo Reach. I am sorry, man. That is a classic, man.
Okay.
All right,
yo. Some Witcher 3. You should be embarrassed.
I got Witcher 3. I got you. Well, you. Oh no, Pred had Witcher 3 in there too. So
yeah.
All right, but on that note, this is a gameplay voting edition of Next Podcast. Go over on my Twitter. It is at Xbot448, and right at the top of the page, I have the poll pinned. It is going to be up there for 24 hours. And guys, this is the last voting poll for gameplay of the year. So go in. We already know Xbot had the best gameplay. We know this. But
look at this gameplay playing right here. I'm banging against somebody that had a higher level than me. Look at that, great, Mega, great. And then we go to another. We go to what? Star Wars. Man, then I show some gears.
All right, man. I picture you with a laser pointer pointing out, and then we go to Star Wars over here. But guys, hit up the voting. You guys definitely you come out every time we do this gameplay stuff. It is really awesome. Again, when it comes to this show, the chat is as much part of the show as the panel is, as the gameplay is. Whenever people play it back, they see the chat right there. You guys are a part of the Next podcast family as well. Definitely appreciate all the support. I can't wait to see how much the Next Podcast can grow in 2020. So with that being said, let people know about this show. We are live every Saturday, 7 p.m., and I am going to end the show the way I do every week. We will see you next Saturday for the Next Podcast. Have a great rest of the year, people.
Penis demon.
Predator!
Predator!
I'm done. Yeah.